Hello, knitty friends. It's nice to see you again. It's Adrienne here at Tryllacraft. It's been a while. I also look very different. I know. I'm blonde. Look at this. Like, truly blonde. Like, everything's blonde. Weird, huh? Yeah, I just had my hair done yesterday. I kind of got fed up with it, so I said, do what it will. So I've been getting blonde highlights and blonde streaks and more blondie over the last year or so, and so I went whole hog. So I'm not used to it. I look very different. It's very weird, but it's okay. It'll be fine. It's much shorter too. Like, look at this. Tiny, tiny. Next to no hair. I'm just going to keep cutting it shorter and shorter until it's all gone. Hi, it's been a few weeks. Busy. Oh my goodness, so busy. Life is crazy. Second wave is here. Yeah, it's been a bit of a downer. Surprise. I had to cancel my trip to Ottawa, so I didn't go visit my brother and his wife and the kids. I did, however, cook my own Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm not much of a cook, but I cooked my own Thanksgiving dinner, and I had a Zoom Thanksgiving with my brother and his family. So they set up the computer, and it was ridiculous. I am very punctual. My brother and his family, not so much. So they're like, dinner at 7. I said, okay. So I spent like an hour and a half cooking, and I had everything ready to go at 10 to 7. I texted him, I'm like, dinner time? And he's like, gets back to me a few minutes later, and he goes, yeah, just working on Zoom. Give me 5 minutes. So 10 minutes later, he finally sends me the Zoom link. And I'm like, perfect, no problem. So I make my plate, and I sit down, and I hop on Zoom, and he's like, hey, we're not ready. I'm like, oh, no. So I just started to eat, because my food was going to get cold. So I finished my dinner before they managed to sit down to theirs. But it's all good. We got to chat, and my nieces were doing like TikTok dances for me. I don't understand. But they were laughing, and it was funny, and whatever, it's fine. They're ridiculous. My sister-in-law apologized and said, oh, I'm so sorry it was so like loud and chaotic. And I'm like, so it's exactly like it would be in person. She kind of stopped for a second and went, yeah, okay. Like, you guys are loud, it's okay. But it was really lovely to see everybody. And then, yeah, work has been very busy. Teaching is very busy. I'm so behind on marking, it's not even funny. But because I want to talk to you guys, I got up early on a Sunday morning just to podcast to you guys, because I needed to find some time to do it. I keep saying to myself, I don't have a lot of time to knit. And then today I look at my pile and I go, maybe I'm a liar. Lots to share with you. So, finishes. I have some. Some as in more than one. But the big one, the important one, the mega finish. Sorry. Fluffies. With not one, but 2 finished sleeves. So, all my ends are woven in. It's all blocked. I'm a liar. It's not blocked. I didn't block it. But the ends are woven. It's close enough. It's a sweater. I just threw it on. Yeah, it's lovely. It's warm. It's kind of in a timeout right now because I struggled so much to finish it. The last push to finish that sleeve took forever. And so I'm slightly annoyed with it right now, and I don't want to see it. But give me a couple weeks and I'll be wearing it. It'll be fine. It needs to get a little bit cooler here in Ontario. But yeah, so it is finished. Hooray. I'm a sweater knitter now, people. I've actually finished a sweater. So that is super exciting. I'm very happy to officially have that off my needles. Officially. But that is not all. Do you remember last episode I said something about worrying if I would make my 12 pairs by the end of the year? So I try and make myself 12 pairs of socks every year at a minimum. And then I usually knit at least one gift pair and then, you know, whatever else. I thought I was behind and I thought I was like desperately trying to finish number 10. No, I've already finished number 10. And now I have number 11. Like, look at this. Wow. So, this is, main color is Boysenberry by Sweet Georgia. And the contrast is a Yarn of the Month Club from Leo and Roxy Yarn Company. So yeah, pair number 11. Yes. And then, oh folks, you don't even know. I went and finished number 12. Sweet. So this is Desert Vista Dye Works in their Cinder Zombody colorway. And the contrast is done in Dream and Color Smooshy with Cashmere in the Aqua Jet colorway. So these ones have been on my needles for a very long time. But they're done. They're done. And I have 12 new pairs of socks. So yeah, that super makes me excited. Oh. Sometimes I'm dumb. But there is more, so that's 3 finishes. But I only have 4 sock blockers, so I have to switch. So I have 3 finishes and a hoe. Isn't that awesome? So this is, I have no idea what colorway in, it's Lichen and Lace. And then the contrast is, actually a friend of mine messaged me and she goes, you got that mini from me? And I'm like, oh, of course I did. And now it's extra special. So I'm like, oh, I'm knitting with something that was given to me by a really good friend. And I'm like, these makes these socks extra special. So this is called, I'm not gonna remember what it's called. It's by Lazy Livin' Fiber. I think it's called Throw Me Something Mister. I don't know what it's a reference to. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. It looks really pretty. I was worried that this yarn was gonna be, you know, it looks like a solid, but it's much more variegated than that. Or tonal. So it's actually got some personality. So I'm super pleased with it. Hooray. So yeah, so that's good news. So 3 finishes, so a mega finish, 2 finishes, and a hoe. Sounds pretty good to me, folks. So I did a little bit of knitting. But what happens to me when I do that much finishing? The casting on has to happen. So let's start. Knit's Best Thing, my hot chocolate bag. So I was a good girl. This is something I'm trying to get into the habit of. So when I finish the sock, I go to the trouble of casting on. There we go. Casting on the second sock. Even if I don't knit the whole second sock, as long as I've cast it on. I had people asking me about these little red things that I use. They're just like quilting clips. And I just use them to hold on to things so I don't have to worry about things slipping and moving. So when I add new yarns, right, because there's a bunch I added in here and whatnot. So I just kind of hold on to it so it doesn't have to go anywhere. I don't have to, it helps with tension and things like that. Mostly I just get worried about things unraveling in my hands. So I just make sure they're secure. And that's all they're there for. So yeah. Yay for a second sock started. So that's good. And then, in case you were unaware, it is currently Socktober. So what do you do in Socktober? You cast on socks. So Carrie and Jolynn of Little Red Mitten podcast and of the Little Red Mitten had talked on their podcast a while ago about starting a new sock every Thursday in October, and there are 5 Thursdays in October. I didn't think I was gonna, and then I was like, well, I have a couple of spare needles. I can cast on 2 or 3. Well, I kind of got a bug. So I have ordered more needles. They're not here yet. Hopefully they'll be here by next week. But this was cast on number 1. So this is one of my lollipop yarns. Gotta find the tag. So, lollipop yarn. And this one's called Hanging Out. So it's a really kind of a cool concept, right? Because it's got the different speckles, wide striped speckles, and then a nice little pseudo half rainbow, and then, yeah. And then this color here, I actually have a mini of to do the contrast heel. So yeah, super excited. It's funny too, because I was just like, oh, I'll just cast it on, but then I wanted to see how this knit up, so I was like, oh, I gotta keep going. So I'm like, you know, third of the way down the leg now. But yeah, I'm really excited. It looks really cool. Should be fun. Should be fun. And it, of course, matches my bag perfectly. Yes, I know. I'm a matchy-matchy kind of girl. And then this one, again, with the matchy-matchy. So, Leo and Roxy Yarn Company, which are friends of mine, put out an anniversary sock. And so it's a marled work sock. This one annoyed me a little bit because everyone knows I don't like ribbing. And I particularly don't like 2x2 ribbing. So I start all my socks as 3x1. I'm twice as fast knitting that as I am 2x2. So I got started on this sock, and then I'm like, I'm doing a rib sock. I can't do 3x1 ribbing because it doesn't fit with the other ribbing on the sock. So I had to rip everything out, do a stupid 2x2 rib so that I could do a 6x2 on the marled part. Not that you can see it right now because, you know, marled. But it really is. So yeah, I'm really quite excited. It's their marled yarn with their naked, their Leo, just their naked yarn. And this is Tell Me a Secret. Super excited. I actually, although I have to be very wide awake and I have to have a lot of light to knit on this because the marled yarn messes with my eyes. But I'm loving it. I think it's going to be really, really cool and really, really pretty when I get done. So, hooray. There's too many bags. All right. I can't help it. Out comes the goat bag again because I love my goat bag. So this was cast on number 3 for Socktober. This is, sorry, it's too early in the morning and I got something in my throat. Can't get organized today, sorry folks. Isn't that pretty? So this is Nomadic Yarns in her Neville colorway. So yet another Harry Potter sock for me. I love this colorway. I think it's beautiful. Super excited to be knitting this one. Yeah, it looks great. And this is actually, I don't think you guys can see it. There you go. It's got sparkles in it. It's sparkly yarn. I don't knit with a lot of sparkle yarn, so this is kind of exciting. I don't remember why I bought this one. I actually bought this one in both sparkle and non-sparkle. Not really sure why I did that, but that's how much I like the colorway. So that was cast on number 3. And then last night or the night before, night before. I cast on number 4. Oh, hold on. It's my koala bag from Margaret. Thank you. So, I cast on. I went digging in my deep stash. So, this is Yusashita yarn. I think I'm saying that right. And this is her Midnight colorway. And I haven't really come across any yet, but there are the occasional small flecks of like almost gold in this. So I'm going to take this. And I was talking to Louise, Wildflower Wool yesterday. I called her and chatted with her for a bit. And I said, you'll be so proud of me. I'm using a color that's so you and not me. And so she was super excited. So I promised I would show her. So this nice little goldie. So there are very few of those gold flecks in here. It's mostly just like a reddy burgundy and the blue. But I think it goes well together. So screw it. My feet, I'm going to do it whatever I want. So there. That's how I'm going to roll. So that's, what, 4 new starts in a second sock? It's fine. It's fine. And I have progress, works in progress. Other stuff that I worked on. Because sometimes when things get to heels and toes and things that I don't want to travel with or sit through, I don't want to do a heel in the middle of a meeting because I have to concentrate too much and whatnot. So I pulled out, oh, I like this bag. I'll show you guys. This is a really pretty bag of mine. Knit's Best Thing. So this is Timber Yarns in the Codependent Knitters colorway. So I'm super excited about working on these ones as well. Love the colors. Love the colors. And I love my codependent knitters, so, you know, surprise. So, yeah. So that's good. So I worked on that one a little bit. And this one, for a while, was my office knitting. So I've been working at home for the last 7-8 months, whatever. And I have an office upstairs that I basically never use. I almost always sit down here on my couch because it's closer to the kitchen. It's also got a big TV in it. Although I don't ever watch TV when I'm working, but I don't have to go far when I'm done working. But anyway, so on the odd occasion when I needed to go upstairs and use the computer upstairs, I left knitting up there so I didn't have to remember to take knitting with me so that I could do that. Well, I finally got to the point where I was like, oh, I need to put in a heel, so brought it downstairs to work on. So, petite bag. So this colorway is I'm Not Really a Mermaid by Super Crafty Girl, and I've just put in my mini heel flap. I know, it's the most ridiculous thing, but it's actually pretty impressive. Like, it's only, I added a 6-row mini heel flap, but it gives me about a 1/4 inch on either side of my heel. So I added a 1/2 inch to the diameter of my sock, or the circumference of my sock, being math. And that's what makes all the difference in how well my heel fits. So yeah, and so this blue is actually one of the skeins that I dyed for myself for my birthday. So it's theoretically Old Oak Yarns, but no colorway name, just a blue. It doesn't match perfectly, but I don't care. It's blue, it works. I'm happy. So yeah. That was a lot, eh, folks? So what this tells you is that I have 0 attention span. And I have a hard time focusing on anything. All right. So you know there's acquisitions. It's me, after all. So, number one. A month or so ago, beginning of September it would have been, I joined the Yarn of the Month Club with Freckled Whimsy. And so I received my first one, which is the September colorway, although it is called October is my favorite color. So here is that skein. I am super curious to see how this will knit up. I have to wait until the end of October. Oh no, maybe it's out now. I don't know. Anyway, eventually I'll be able to see a picture of it knit up because I'm really curious to see what that's going to look like. But it's really kind of cool. It's got some colors that are very me, like the blue and the gray and the pinks. But the limey mustardy yellow is kind of not me. But you never know. Maybe it'll look great and I will love them anyways. But yeah, I'm super excited. Who doesn't love self-striping yarn? Seriously? We all know that I do. And then I actually ordered a bunch of yarn from a Canadian dyer called Shirley Bryan Yarns. First one, she has a little bit of self-striping. She's one of those rare indie dyers that has a huge range of the types of dyeing she does. So she does a little bit of like tonal, semi-solids. She does self-striping. She does what she calls her deconstructed fades. She does speckles. She does a whole range, which is amazing because each of them takes a lot of different effort. Self-striping in particular. Those self-stripers blow my mind because it's so much work. Anyway, so I picked up one of her self-striping and I'm actually pretty excited about it. Colorway is called Untethered, but it's very turquoisey with some really pretty neat colors in it. So I'm looking forward to knitting on that as well. I know, I'm excited about knitting on everything. And then, even though I already own 2 or 3 deconstructed fades, I bought some more. So the first one is called Peveril. No idea what it means. But it's like a pink and a gray kind of fade. I really need to cast on one of these fades. Maybe that'll be one of my next cast-ons. And then the next one is called The Hashtag is Silent. So it's all purples and greens, and that should be pretty cool. Shirley Bryan Yarns. The yarn feels super, super soft. Like, that's really quite nice. And then the last one is called Makuza. So in the skein, it looks all like flecky, but it turns into a fade, and it's just, this must be totally labor intensive. I can't even imagine how much work this must be, but it's super, super cool. I'm really excited. And the yarn's so soft. Like, it's just, I don't know, this seems to be extra squishy. I really like it. And then my last acquisition, something I haven't bought in a while, is a new bag. So this is a bucket bag, a small bucket bag from Zigzag Stitches. Very nice. I like the pattern. But it's not just a bucket. It's got a drawstring on it. So this would be a really great sweater bag. I'm super excited about it. So yeah. So cool, so cool. And I love Catherine's bags. She makes beautiful, beautiful things and such quality stitching. So yay, Zigzag Stitches. Super excited about this one. So yeah. yeah, that's everything. So apparently I've been busy knitting. Who would have thought? But yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna work on next. Okay, we know I'm gonna work on socks, that's for sure. I do want to pull out one of my other sweaters, but then I kind of haven't, I don't know. I want to finish some stuff, but I don't really know what I feel like finishing. I think this means that I need to do a serious kind of like dig through of my works in progress and kind of get a feel for something that's, kind of close to being done. And what I should work on is my niece's hat. I haven't touched that in weeks. Anyway, who knows what I'll work on between now and the next time you see me. Except I promise there will be socks, because there's always socks. All right, everyone. I miss you. I wish you well. I hope you're well. Keep knitting. Love you.